How's it going, everybody? The Seer here. I've had a lot of people ask me how to tackle the tech lanes without using Omega Sentinel. So right now, as you see, we are doing Orchis Raid Omega. This is going to be difficult 3, little overlap here, but you can see that I have 3 nodes I'm going to be able to do, including the boss node. So I'm going to show you what I typically do. Now, some of these might end up being like a 2-tap or something of that sort, but I'm going to try to go for the 1-shot. Now, the key to this is for node 1, because of the enemies that's on here, with that lizard, you don't want to use Mysterio. So I found that Hank Pym is actually the better option here. Then for node 2 and the boss node, use Mysterio. So let's go ahead and get in here. Okay, so this is for node 1. This is the setup that I usually use. We're going to have Sentinel. He's low star, so I'm going to keep him as a fortifier. Nimrod I like as a raider. Lady Deathstrike a striker. And then we have the healer on Hank Pym and Scientist Supreme. So let's go ahead and get in here. Alright, so we are in the node right now. So we're going to have Hank Pym first. I like to target the Iron Patriot first. If he gets that special off and flips our stuff, things can kind of go wrong. The North Star is always going to go first anyways. When we get to Lady Deathstrike's turn, target the leader and use the special. That's going to do a nice turn meter rewind to that lizard. So we get a little bit more control out here. Scientist Supreme, I'm going to target the lizard and use the ultimate. Now we have the trauma on everybody. We're going to end up using the special from Nimrod first. That's going to put the stuns, ability blocks, a lot more control out there. We're going to target the Iron Patron, use Sentinel's ultimate. And you can see the North Star is already almost pulled off. I'm just going to try to tunnel down this Iron Patriot, get him down as far as we can. Lady Deathstrike's going to use the ultimate. Ideally, it would be better to target somebody with the vulnerable, but I really want to get that guy dead. Use the ultimate from Hank Pym. And Scientist Supreme got that special off, which is beautiful. We have a lot of bots out here. We're going to use that ultimate from Nimrod now. So there we got the trauma out there. And we're just going to target down the Green Goblin Classic right now. Let's get some more bots out here from Sentinel. And we're going to use that special. Let's target the leader, because again, I don't really want the lizard going and kind of ruining us. Even though he's the guy that ability block, I just don't like him. Alright, so there's the taunt on the lizard. Alright, so we got the taunt off. Now we're going to switch back over and use the basic. We can conserve a little bit of abilities right now. There goes one Green Goblin Classic. And let's use the special. Targets right here. So again, we got the stun, we got some ability blocks, some really good control going. Let's try to focus down that Green Goblin Classic a little bit. Now we're going to use the ultimate, because that final wave is down, so we got the trauma on everybody. And here's the ultimate from Sentinel. A lot more bots out there. Now, something we do need to be mindful of is that Black Cat. She gets that special off. The only good thing about it is we have those taunts on the Sentinels right now. We're going to target over here. And I'm actually going to use the special. Yeah, let's do another rewind. That is some pretty massive damage to the Black Cat. Let's just try to focus her down really quick. Alright, so there she goes. Back over to the Green Goblin Classic. We're going to use the special from the Nimrod. He has a very short cooldown. So we're kind of good to start burning that. And special from Lady Deathstrike. There goes the Green Goblin Classic. Now I'm going to put this on auto basic. We have about 45 seconds left. We might time out, but I could have played it a little bit faster. But yeah, this is a really good team to use for that node 1. Hang Pym just brings a lot of utility to this team, whereas Mysterio would throw things off to where that Lizard would be able to ult turn 1 and really set us behind that 8 ball, and it's hard to fight back from it. And there we go. Node 1 is completed. All right, so now we are going to go into node 2 for this. Again, I'd like to use Mysterio for the second node and the boss node. So we're going to go ahead and get in here, get our team set up, and start the attack on this one. All right, this is the power level of the team that I use for node 2. So again, we're going to keep Sentinel as a fortifier. We have Raider on Nimrod and Mysterio. Lady Deathstrike, we have the Striker. Scientist Supreme, we have that healer. Let's go ahead and start this attack. All right, so the way we're going to actually start this one off is a little bit different. We're going to end up starting with the special from Lady Deathstrike. That's going to do that turn meter rewind. So it's going to push that North Star back a little bit. And we got a lot of bleeds out there. Now for Nimrod's turn, use the special first. If we're lucky, we're going to get that ability block on North Star, which unfortunately we did not do. We're going to use the ultimate from Scientist Supreme. And the North Star did end up bleeding out, so that's great. Now we're just going to tunnel down the Sasquatch here a little bit. We're going to start by using the special into Sentinel. And there we got some pretty good damage already. When he gets to Mysterio's turn, because the Spider Weaver's out right now, we're going to use the special. Now, unfortunately, the ability block did get resisted, but it's Lady Deathstrike's turn. This is basically going to wipe whoever we hit. We're going to target the Colossus. If we had the vulnerable on the Spider Weaver, we would target her, but we don't. All right, we're going to target the Spider Weaver and use the ultimate from Nimrod. We got the trauma out there for her. We're going to use the special from Scientist Supreme. I'm going to avoid hitting her. I don't want to push the Spider Weaver right now. So right now I'm just going to kind of target down like Dazzler and the AoE effects round Dazzler. Now these Mysterio bots, you can actually target anybody that has buffs. That way you can clear those buffs. That's going to make it a little bit easier. Alright, so Spider Weaver has the charges. Lady Deathstrike's basic is unavoidable. Just basic into there, that gets rid of her. Now we're going to kind of target the Nightcrawler and Nimrod special. That's going to get some stuns and ability blocks out there. And the ultimate from Scientist Supreme. And we're going to use the special from Sentinel. That's going to do some pretty good damage. And here I'm going to target the Dazzler and use the special. That gets rid of the Nightcrawler and got me some really good damage on that Spider Weaver. And again, I'm not too afraid to use the basics for the special from Nimrod. That comes back very quickly. We're just going to do some basic attacks into Sunspot. Then we're going to shift over to the Spider Weaver. And yeah, we should have everybody's abilities ready for that boss node. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, so now we are going to go into this boss node. Now there is that Apocalypse on here. There's a lot of sustain with those Spider Society characters. We're going to get a lot of control using that Mysterio. So let's go ahead and take a look at the team again. All right, so we are using that exact same team, same ISOs and everything. Fortifier on Sentinel. Once he hits about the 5-5 mark for me is when I'm going to switch him over to the Striker. But for now, I like that Fortifier on him. Mysterio Nimrod as a Raider. Lady Deathstrike as a Striker. And Healer on that Scientist Supreme. Alright, so we are in the node now. We're going to have that pre-taunt on Sasquatch. We're going to use that ultimate from Scientist Supreme that just peppers everybody with those negative effects and that trauma. Lady Deathstrike special into that Sasquatch. So that does that nice turn meter rewind. Nimrod, we're going to use that special to start. So there goes some ability blocks. There goes the stuns. We're just going to focus down the Sasquatch until he either gets killed off or the taunt drops, which unfortunately isn't going to happen because that safeguard. And it actually did. For Ghost Rider Robbie, I do like to target him down because of those pings that he can pump out at us. Scientist Supreme's going to use that special. And I'm going to target the Hank Pym and use the special to get that turn meter rewind. Do Apocalypse, and I killed Hank Pym. I'm going to shift back over to the Robbie and tunnel him down a little bit. Let's use the ultimate. That does some pretty nice AoE damage. It gets a lot more bots out there. And Nimrod, we're going to use the ultimate into the Robbie. I want to save that special for this wave that drops down right here. Alright, let's target down the Robbie. So we're going to use that ultimate from the Sentinel. There goes another character. And there goes the Robbie. Now we're going to shift over to the Black Cat and the North Star. I want to get the speed up off of the North Star so it doesn't flip our Mysterio stuff. Now we're going to target the Black Cat and use the special. And notice I am kind of avoiding those Spider Society until we get like heal block and stuff on them is when I'm going to shift over. So we used the special from Nimrod that was able to get the stun on Black Cat. So now we're going to shift over to this Captain Britain. Alright, ultimate from Scientist Supreme. Now we can use this ultimate. This is going to do some massive damage to these characters. So there, Peter B does end up getting his turn, but we have that trauma. We have the heal block on the Spider Society characters. So this isn't really going to heal them. It is going to put out that regen, which I'm perfectly fine with. And we're going to use that special from Nimrod that does a nice AoE hit. Now we can actually put this on auto. I'm going to shift over to the Penny though, just because I don't want her using the ultimate and flipping our buffs. Alright, so there goes the Penny. And now we have a minute 45 to take out this Peter B. Parker. He does have the heal block, so it isn't going to take the full time, so we are lucky there. Now, if there's no heal block on him, that's where Mysterio is really good. We can use the ultimate. It basically pummels the enemy team with that heal block, just like there. Alright, let's go ahead and check out the power level that I have for these, because I know you guys are thinking, well, he has a big Orchis team. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Alright, so this is the Orchis team that I currently have. My Lady Deathstrike is massive. I did buy these diamonds on her, and I don't regret it at all. The use that she has War and Cosmic Crucible, I felt high value in that because of how hard she hits. Scientist Supreme, I bought her up to Diamond 1 and Diamond 2. Now, the only reason Scientist Supreme and Sentinel are G19 is because of the Omega Assault that we just had. Otherwise, they would have stayed at G18 personally, and I would have preferred to take Nimrod and Omega Sentinel up to G19 if I was going to do that. I was able to do these nodes with these characters at G18, by the way. So the G19 on these two isn't that important. Sentinel's always going to have that chance to come back because of the bots, Scientist Supreme's passive, and everything. Scientist Supreme doesn't really do any damage. She's there to pummel the negative effects out there, which she does fine at G18. This just gives her a little bit more survivability. Now for Nimrod, he is a 3-3 as you see. As far as T4s goes, I do have all T4s on Nimrod. All T4s on Lady Deathstrike. This was back from Weapon X days. I did all of the T4s for Scientist Supreme. In Sentinel, I did all the T4s. This is a very T4 intensive team. Now, as far as Mysterio goes, let's take a look at that. So if we go to the tech, we can see that my Mysterio is G18. I only have 3 T4s on him. I did make him purple 3 because of Dark Dimension 8. I didn't have to take him to G19, which I was very happy about. This was working fine with him as a blue 5. The big key about this team comp is the fact where on spawn, he's going to summon 3 mirror images. And that's going to speed up the Orchis team because of Nimrod's passive. Now for Hank Pym, we did end up getting that Diamond 3 due through the, I think it was a showcase or something with the Orchis team. This was working fine with him as like a 6/6. The 3/3 or the 3 diamond is more there just for the added survivability. Having him use the special to flip the negative effects on Illuminati, barrier, the clear vulnerables on here, like all this stuff doesn't matter. So you don't need the passive. Using the ultimate though, where it clears immunity and puts slow out there, this is the impactful move, which happens like on turn 2. Plus his passive, where on turn he attacks all enemies and flips stealth. These are the things that Hank Pym kind of brought to the team. So I really like Hank Pym as the 5th on node 1. Mysterio is fantastic for node 2 and the boss node. But hopefully this video did end up helping you guys try to get through that. Save your resources. You don't need Omega Sentinel, as you see. You can do just fine with the 4-piece, Hank Pym, and Mysterio. Please let me know if you did find this video useful. If you did like this video, like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, have a wonderful rest of the day.